Hello everyone. Today I will be teaching you the area method in Algebra 1. There is 3 sections to this part, and in the first section I will be teaching you guys how to read area tiles because it's very crucial to understanding the area method for this technique. Okay, so in box 1 we see that in the 1 by 1, so when we would shade this in right here, we would get our area is equal to 1, because when you multiply length times width, you get the area, and so 1 times 1 is the area for this section. And so in the box below that, when we would multiply, or when we would shade this area in, we would get x times 1, which would give us our area is equal to x. And for this bottom one, we would get this length right here would be x, and this would also be x too. And when we shade this in, we would get our area is equal to x squared. Okay, moving on to the next section. In part 2, we are going to apply using the method, the area method, to solve this binomial. So let's set up our problem. Here, this would represent this would be our x plus 2, and then over here this is our x plus 1. This section right here is x plus 2, and this section up here is x plus 1. And so we see that when we could label these out to make it easier for ourselves. So this is x, this is 1, this is 1, this is 1, until we see that right here this length is the same as this length right here. And so we would get x squared, and following this we would get x and in this one right here we would get x, and the same applies for the bottom one. We would get 1 times x, so that would be x. And for this one right here, we would get 1 times 1, which is just 1, and then repeat that same thing, and you would get 1 times 1 and x. So now we can see that we multiplied everything to get our distribution done. So now we would see what we can combine to make this polynomial. X squared plus 1, 2, 3, 3x plus 2, and this would be our answer for this part. Okay. Now in part 3, you try using the same method. You can go ahead and pause the video, and I will resume. Okay, so I hope that was enough time for you guys, and you guys were able to do it while you paused the video. But here's the method, or here's the setup if you didn't figure it out. So this is x, this is x, this is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. This part up here is the x plus 2. And the section down here is x plus 3. And so when we multiply for this area, we would get x squared, then a 1, or no, an x, I'm sorry, and then another x, then we would get an x, oh, I'm sorry, and so this would also be x, this would be the 1, and this 1 times 1 is also x, and I mean 1, and so then this part would be x, and then 1, and then 1, and then for the last part, this final one would be x, and this would be 1 as well. So then we would combine the like terms, and in our answer we would get x squared 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5x plus 6. And I hope you guys understood this area method. And now moving on to our last part is our extension. So here is another way, or another problem to get you guys thinking for next class. So we see right here where we have x minus 2 times x plus 3. What's different here? Would this affect our method, or our way of approaching this problem, the way that with the method we just learned?